I finished Outer Banks the other day and I absolutely fell in love with the plot and the characters and everything about this show. So I'm going to rank the best characters in the show from best to worst. If you're new here, how I do my rankings is based on their role. So main characters get ranked on how they are as a main character, and side characters can still be in the A or S tier if they're a really good side character, even if they're not on the screen a lot. So that's how I do my rankings. Let me know your favorite and least favorite characters in the comments here, and let's get into it. So we're starting off with an absolute bang with Sarah Cameron, and boys, come on, stop playing with me, stop messing around. Easy S tier. On a more serious note though, moving away from my love for Sarah Cameron, I think she did have a good character development. I know some people disagree and they thought it was a little bit forced and rushed, but you have to remember, even though all these characters look like they're 37, they are 16 in the show, so some of the rational, irrational decisions she makes do make sense. I think she had good development, and you really see that she wants to not live in this bubble, as she calls it. I think it was good. The only thing that I don't like, spoilers are going to be in this by the way, at the end how ready she was to die for John B. Like, you literally just started dating like 4 days ago in the show. Like, that was a bit much when you just left your ex-boyfriend like literally 4 days ago, like I said. But other than that, I think the development worked. Like I said, the show is short, so it kind of like, it feels fast, but like I said, they're 16 in this, so I think it fit in. And I really liked her, just a kind character, and how her and John B relationship is just one of my favorite parts of the show. Next up we have John B. I have two problems with this character. One is, just say these characters are 20 in college. The only storyline that falls apart would be the foster care storyline, but you could make up anything else. Like, they're just, the bank's gonna take over the house or something. I don't know. He can still be on his own. These characters, like him being 27, every time they say he's 16, I laugh out loud on the screen. But that's not really taking away from the characters. I think he does actually do a good job playing like how a 16-year-old would act, besides the fact that he looks like a 27-year-old male model. But other than that, great character. This man's an absolute beast. I really like how he's obviously like the leader of the group. I really like how he handles all that and handles all the group dynamics well, and his relationships with every character is very interesting to me. And like I said, this is the main focus, and he carries the load perfectly. I think they did a great job with this character, so this is going to be another S tier for me. Starting off with two S tier characters right off the bat. Now, Barry is an interesting character as well. I mean, he's kind of bad at what he does. He gets beat up a whole lot in this show. But honestly, I think Barry was a character that had a high potential, and they didn't really use it right, but I think that was on purpose. They kind of set up a lot of stuff for the second season for Barry, so there's a lot of potential here. The stuff with the pawn shop and him like being behind the scenes of that shows that he might have a bigger grasp of the area and the crime and stuff behind the scenes than we really thought. And the info he has over Rafe is going to be really interesting, so I think this character is going to be amazing in the second season. For now, I'm just putting him in the B category though. Next we have JJ, and another part of the main crew getting the S tier. Now, this is like the perfect example of how a generic asshole teen would really act. They did a perfect job. They're not holding back. Obviously he's old in real life, so it's not a problem, but not holding back and showing what teens really do. They drink, they smoke weed, they do all this stuff, and all his actions, like the irrational ones, like pulling out a gun and all that stuff, obviously there's a reason behind it. Just like real life, there's always history there with people, and they showed it perfectly with his dad and how abusive his home life was. So they really make you care for him in the later parts, or like middle to later parts of the show, and I really hope they find a way to make him happy, because has a terrible home life, does not have any love interest in this show, and he just stole the boat from his dad, so things are not looking up for JJ. But I really like this character, and like I said, they really had a way of showing him as like this generic asshole teen who has some funny remarks every now and then. I do give him that. He has some of the best like jokes in the show that are just a little like comments, but they work really well. But yeah, hopefully things look up for JJ, but it's not looking like it's going that direction for him. Next we have Big John, and there's no way I can put him above or below a C. And we really barely saw anything from him. I mean, obviously we know he cared for his son, and he went missing, and he found the gold, so he did some good things, but really, it's hard to put him above a C when we saw him on screen for literally 2 minutes in a flashback and just heard about him the whole time. Like I said, I didn't do anything bad, so I can't put him lower than this, but just average for now. Next we have Hayward. This is Pope's father, if you don't know. I'm going to put him in the C category also. Now, he is a good father, but Pope, honestly, he wants the best for him, and he wants better than what he has for his current life for his son. And he's really working hard for that, and Pope is giving him a really hard time, so I give him some credit for that. Just a character, once again, that didn't see a whole lot of, and I don't know, the way that he treats Pope's friends, even though if you were the father in that situation, you'd probably react the same, I think he could have been a little bit more understanding of what Pope wanted in his life. and Pope was still trying to please him the entire time until he made the realization and left the interview, so just a C category for him. Moving on though, we have Kelsey, and this has to be a C category character. I mean, he didn't really do anything in the entire show besides kind of push Topper into doing things he didn't want to do, and then try to catch John B, which you don't really blame him for, so I'm not knocking him down for that because John B was a fugitive. They hated him anyways, and why not try to get 25k? I do the same thing, but just kind of an underused character, and they only really showed the negative effects of him, so probably another character we'll see more of in the next season. Next we have Kiara, or Key. Now, obviously she really cares for everybody in the group, and that's kind of her thing. She holds them together, and she's kind of the outlier on her own, so her trying to hold together the group is kind of an interesting dynamic since she's not really like them with her financial status here and her being in the higher life here. But I'm going to put her in the B category because some of the actions she takes are really like just out of pocket. I think like the reaction, first of all, to Sarah Cameron coming in when they were best friends and barely even like wasn't willing to talk to her until they got forced to on a boat. The reaction she had to that was a bit much. And when Pope confessed his feelings, how she reacted in that situation when she knew Pope wasn't in the right state of mind, also not great. So I don't know, there's just a couple things where she just starts yelling at people and just reacts a bit poorly, but I know the character's intentions are good, so I gotta give it at least a B. Next we have JJ's father, and obviously, you know, like I said, for every situation like this, you know there's something more behind the story most of the time. But I'm putting this guy in the F category. The way he treats JJ is not fair. Even though no matter how hard your life is, you have to try to make your life better for your kids. And he's just abusing JJ constantly, starting these fistfights and brutally beating him, trying to steal money from him and spending on the wrong things. Just a very unlikable character that makes you really feel for JJ, but him alone is an F tier character. Next we have Sheriff Peterkin here, and I'm going to put her in the A category. Now, like I said, I know she hasn't been on the screen that a lot of time, but this is a really interesting character that at first you really thought she was going to be evil when they started showing the stuff between her and the killer, who we didn't know at the time who it was. But obviously you learn that she was all making plays towards the greater goal, and I hate how she got ended up. Now, obviously, someone probably has to die in every show. Like, that's just the kind of the thing they do. They have to kill off some person, and it can't be really a main character. But I think there's a really interesting character that could have had a really good dynamic going on, but I do like the mystery of this character. Like I said, you really don't know if she's working for the good side or bad side until the very end. Sadly, she gets sent off in a bad way, but great character for the time she was there. Next we have Pope, and honestly, my man Pope is goated. He's going in the S category, another one of our main crew up there. This man, all he wants to do is please everyone. He wants to please his father and go for the scholarship and go to college and get a great job, and he wants to be there for his friends all the time. And he's kind of battling this battle of both worlds here. Moving on, we have Rafe, and this is one of the most likable and well done unlikable characters I've ever seen. Let me explain myself. So obviously he is set up and ends up being like this huge villain character, but you can really see the mental struggles this man is going through and what the toll is and how he wants to prove himself to his father and the things he's willing to do for it. Like I said, I think they created a really interesting dynamic and storyline for him. It's going to be amazing in season 2. I think this is a great job of doing a villain character that you see like why he's doing the bad things he's doing, but at the same time you can't obviously agree with it because it's still wrong. But a great job of developing this character, even though I hated watching him. It's a greatly written character here. Next we have Rose, and she's going in the D category. I mean, she kind of has no idea what's going on, and the thing she does know that's going on knows isn't probably great how he got the gold and everything, but doesn't really question it and is just encouraging him to pretty much run away from his problems and go to the Bahamas or something. So not really a great character, not much to do in the show, and the time she is on the screen, not very likable. So just a D category character. Next we have Officer Shoop. I don't know how to explain this really, but I have to put him in the D category character because I just do not like him. Obviously it's hinted at that he's working for Ward at the end there, but that's just not it. His actions through the entire show and his reaction to things, I just don't like him. Like I said, I can't really explain why that much, but just not a fan of this character. And the things he does are just, I don't know. It feels like he knows the truth a little bit and he's just not acting on it. So I don't know. I have to put him in the D category. Bad explanation by me, but that's all I got. Next we have Topper, who, like I said, kind of gets influenced by his friends to do the bad things he does and how he treats people. But he is kind of just an asshole on his own anyways, and the way he treated Sarah wasn't the greatest, even though Sarah also wasn't being the greatest to him, obviously with being with John B while they were together still, so can't really blame him too much for that. He does kind of come in clutch at the end there and save John B and Sarah, but if we're being honest, he's kind of simping for Sarah because he still is in love with her, and that's the only reason he did it was for her. But it saved them. I think this is an interesting character, and the way he reacts to things and how he gets like kind of forced into these things and just goes through with it is pretty interesting. And like I said, I think there's potential to see where he goes and if he ever gets over Sarah or if he just keeps wanting revenge in them. So I'm going to put him in the B category. Like I said, he has some interesting moments, I think, and while he's slowly finding out the John B storyline, I think that's pretty interesting, so I put him in the B category. You know, actually, we're calling an audible here. I just remembered two things that bumping him down to a C here, because he has enough good things and enough bad things, I think, to bump him down and just keep him right here at the average level. The two bad things I just remembered that bumped him down. One is when Sarah doesn't want to have sex with him, which after she says she's ready, which I understand he would be frustrated, but the way he just handles it and gets so pissed at her, can be pissed, but the way he handled that wasn't great. And when he pushed John B off and then tried to act like he did not push John B off this fucking 80-foot drop that he somehow survived, so he's going down to C. Quick audible on the field. Next we have Ward, and I'm not putting him down low just because I think he deserves to be down here for being a villain in his actions. I just think the mystery was building up so great, but then it got so predictable at the end when they were going on the boat ride and stuff. Like, you knew exactly how that was going to go down and that it wasn't going to just be a regular fishing trip from the second he said it. I think they could have just kept the mystery going a bit longer. Like, if it didn't get revealed until they were at the airport or something, that would have been interesting to me, but it just became a little bit too predictable after being a complete mystery early on. Too many signs, like when he opens up the thing behind the painting in his office, like, they just kind of ruined the surprise for me, and the way he was a villain, like, and just so evil with his family and everything was just honestly hard to believe for me. Like, I know there are people like that, but I don't know, it just didn't work for me completely. And the fact that he was just so okay with lying out of everything in front of all the police and his daughter and everything just didn't sit right with me. So he's got to go in the D category. And next we have Wheezy, and Wheezy is kind of goated too, if we're being honest. Putting her at the A category. Another side character that really doesn't have a lot to do, but she does help out Sarah a lot and does realize that her family is not the best and she needs to help Sarah do what's right. So she has some good moments, some little jokes, and I like her interactions with Topper and stuff like that. So A category for her. Funny moments with Rafe too when he goes, or she goes to the house that he's crashing at. So just a funny character that will probably, once again, another character that will get more to do, I'm sure, in the future. But let me know what you think of my final ranking here. Like I said, you can give me your S and F tier, or just tell me what you disagree with, because everybody likes to fight me on my rankings, even though it's just my personal opinion. Let me know if you want me to do more Outer Banks rankings. Let's try to get 35 likes in this video. Make sure to sub for more and click the videos that are going to be up on the screen now to check out more rankings, and I will see you guys in the next one.